Hi y'all, welcome to my channel. I just wanted to pop on here real quick. Don't mind the smudgy makeup. I just got back from Barnaroux Festival playing with ERE, and I wanted to do a little bedtime reading of this incredible book about Qigong philosophy, DAO Qigong, written by, and I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing this right, Zongshi Wei Zhong Foo. And just a few pages here about the connection to our mental health and our physical health and how they are completely working together for our ultimate health and wellness. We're just going to jump right in here. I'm on page 176 on this version here, and I'm just going to jump in kind of in the middle of the chapter, which is part 4, two-way Qigong healing. And chapter 1, Da Dao Qigong's view on human ailments, healthy people versus unhealthy people. We might go backwards and do the beginning of this chapter, but I wanted to do these few pages real quickly. Psychological ailments are mainly caused by either chronic stimulation or an acute and violent experience of the 7 emotions, which are anger, joy, worry, excessive thinking, sorrow, fear, and shock. Hey, Kevin. I should wear my glasses because of the blue light. Thanks for reminding me. All right, I don't really need them. They're causing too much of a reflection. When this emotional stimulus becomes more than what a person can normally absorb and neutralize, it starts to create qi disorders. Thanks for the thumbs up. Causing imbalances that directly affect the corresponding internal organs and promote the development of disease. Modern psychology recognizes tens and even hundreds of different human emotions. However, the basic emotions can be categorized into 7 types. I'm just going to back it up for a minute and say one more time. When emotional stimulus becomes more than what a person can normally absorb and neutralize, it creates qi disorders, causing imbalance and can cause physical disease. Let me break this down just a little bit before we go any further. Okay, so this can happen when you bury childhood trauma and you have to start putting on like a fake smile because you were not able to process something as a child. Supposedly, children have somewhat of a harder time finding language to process emotions. I say supposedly because you don't necessarily need language. Emotions don't always have words. It's just a matter of being able to feel your feelings comfortably. But a lot of inner child work says that once you pass, and they have different categories, like either 7 or older or 12 or older, your inner child work starts to come back to you cyclically. That's why they say like puberty is actually inner child work from when you were younger that you haven't processed, which is why you might have new mental experiences that come up. And through the inner child work, you can go back to these emotional stimuli that were too much for you and neutralize them. That's why it is so powerful to keep up with that inner child work, because it's like having like little tornadoes in you that you just need to stop, little storms that you just need to stop. So if you're someone who started a chain with me and you haven't finished, it's like the tornado is just going to keep going on inside of you, like unless you find someone else to do the work with. But there's such an easy way to open it up and then close it when we break that chain. And it's really important to do that as regularly as you can. And I can teach you how to do that for yourself. You only have to work with me for like a year or 2, and then you could do that therapy on your own forever. Anyway, I didn't mean for this to be a commercial, but I do have a lot to share concerning resolving a lot of these over stimulation that has helped me so much, and I love sharing it. So back to the 7 types of basic emotions that, and this is a great little summary of how that emotional stimulus can become more than what you can normally absorb and neutralize, and what happens because of that emotion that hasn't been neutralized. And I do want to say another thing that's really good for neutralizing emotions is primal therapy, like literally just feeling that feeling fully. Okay, number 1, anger. When angry, the chi rises. Intense anger can make liver's chi rush up excessively and bring up the blood at the same time, causing shaking of the entire body, fainting, vomiting of blood and or diarrhea. Mild anger over a long period of time can create energy disorders to the liver, spleen, and stomach. 2, when happy, the chi relaxes. Normal joy definitely eases tension and stress and makes one feel happy. Nevertheless, sudden excitement or an excess of excitement stresses the heart's chi, making it sluggish and difficult to concentrate and even causing the loss of one's mind. Insanity. So this is why it's good to kind of stay even and not get too excited about things. The other thing is when someone like intentionally tries to get you excited about something, that could be seduction. So if you're really aware of not getting too excited about things and staying even, then you are less easily manipulated. 3 and 4. When worried and thinking too much, the chi knots. Okay, so we have chi rising, um, and it causes fainting because you're not grounded. And this is why a friend of mine once said when she's angry, she lies down on the floor and just grounds her energy. When happy, that she relaxes, and when worried, thinking too much, the chi knots up. Excessive thinking and worry harm the spirit and spleen. This pents up the energy, creates chi disorders to the spleen and stomach, and causes various ailments. So yes, overthinking is annoying. It also causes stomach issues. When sad, the chi vanishes. Isn't that interesting? So that totally is aligned with what we see happens when someone is depressed. They just literally don't have energy. Excessive sorrow restrains the lungs chi and makes one demoralized and despondent. So if you have a lot of depression, you might notice you have lung issues as well. Trouble breathing. And I noticed that sometimes when people have trouble breathing and they're not breathing deeply, it's because they have tears in there that they need to get out. And when you get out the tears, that's when the sadness can go away a little more easily. Sometimes depression is tears that are stuck in you and can't be neutralized through feeling. Okay, the 6th feeling is being fearful. When fearful, the chi descends. So it's the opposite of anger. Anger, it rises, so you're not grounded. Fearful, it descends. So you don't feel as spiritual. You don't feel as connected to God. When fearful, the chi descends. Excessive fear destabilizes the kidney's chi and promotes energy loss. Acute fright may cause incontinence of feces and urine. When fear persists over a long period of time without relief, it will harm the vital essence and cause agony in the bones. You also might notice when you're really scared, it's like you're squeezing your muscles and you don't even realize you're doing it. And it's like, that's going to hurt you over time. So doing like breath therapy and breathing through things really helps you to not be scared. In severe cases, one loses the ability to walk when they're so scared. Wow. Even moderate fear can produce male seminal emission and premature. Okay, anyway. 7, when in shock, the chi disorients. Okay. So we've got vanishing chi, disorienting chi. So the chi is like in chaos, not organized. So that's interesting. If you're in chaos and your chi is disoriented, you can be sending like people all the wrong messages and too many messages because you're just in this state of shock and your chi is disoriented. Sudden starts and shocks can create panic attacks and cause chi disorders in the heart, spleen, and kidneys. That is so interesting. So if you have the desire to constantly surprise people with things, also you might be kind of shocking them without realizing it. And that might, because you're so used to it, it might not be good for everyone. Um, Psychological ailments are caused by the seven emotions from a person's inner world. Therefore, this type of ailment is referred as an ailment of internal causes. Abnormal fluctuations of moods and states of mind often aggravate or worsen any existing ailments. Example, a cancer patient's experience of acute emotional anxiety can stimulate the tumor in the corresponding organ group, causing its growth to accelerate. Interrelationship between ailments of internal and external causes. Physiological ailments and psychological ailments frequently influence each other. Physiological ailments can easily cause unhealthy extremes of the seven emotions and lead to further disorders of the corresponding organs, blood, and energy, and thereby produce even more emotional imbalance. On the other hand, psychological ailments can make physiological diseases worsen and spread, again prompting abnormal changes in a patient's mental state. Hence, even while discussing these two types of ailments separately, we must consider their integral functioning as an intertwined relationship. Now we're going to talk about diet and work rest induced ailments. A proper diet and a balanced relationship between work and rest mark the very foundation of human health and survival. An imbalance in these areas harms the positive regenerative chi and physiological functions, and in addition causes ailments. So this, I think, is a societal thing in America, at least, where there doesn't seem to be as much value to things that cause your chi to regenerate as there is to being in the workforce. Sure, like vacation is promoted a lot, but even that might not be promoting regenerative chi because it creates a lot of surprises and adventures and blah, 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 blah. So ask yourself what creates positive regenerative chi: resting, connecting without working, relaxing. And that's really important to have to maintain your health. Let's talk about an imbalanced diet. This can manifest in three ways: under or overeating, they're both considered one way. Hunger creates a deficiency in the supply of essence for the blood and chi. Consistent deficiencies will cause ailments such as malnutrition and a dislike of food. Over the long term, the positive regenerative energy field will weaken, immunity will decrease, and other ailments will develop. Drinking and eating too much at meals exhausts one's digestive system, bringing harm and abnormality to its organs. Overconsumption of fat, seafood, meat, sugar, and oil, etc., promotes the accumulation of an excessive amount of chemically active toxins. Chemically active, it's an interesting way to put it. It's easy to generate diseases and even tumors or cysts, especially if one's pace and amount of detoxification are inadequate. Over a period of time, cancer cells start to build up in a specific organ or area of the body and then evolve into specific types of cancers. Excessive intake of sugar also is reported to promote anger. I get irritable if I eat sugar. The second form of malnutrition, in addition to under or overeating, is partiality in diet. The human spirit, qi, and blood are mostly produced and nurtured through foods in 5 flavors. The 5 flavors are sour, bitter, sweet, spicy, and salty, which relate with the 5 organs, elements, and directly stimulate the corresponding organs. Sour goes right to the liver, so lemon juice every day. It's really good for the liver. Bitter flavor goes to the heart, so horseradish, really good for the heart. Sweet goes to the spleen, so mangoes and squashes are good for the spleen. Spicy goes to the lungs, so cayenne pepper is really good for the lungs. And salty goes to the kidneys. So vegetables are really good for the kidneys. If a person indulges in a favorite flavor over a long period of time, the energy of the corresponding organ will become overwhelmed and then harmed, and in the end, create all kinds of disease. Thus, people in good health usually consume food in all flavors. And the third type of malnutrition is excessive consumption of polluted or denatured food. I like how they call it denatured food or polluted food. This is fast food, basically. This diet produces mainly 3 negative effects. First of all, long-term intake of chemically polluted foods will definitely increase the accumulation of toxins in your body. Second, you can become desensitized to needed medications, such as antibiotics, that contain chemical agents similar to those present in your diet. Third, consumption of food high in hormone content elevates a person's hormone content and promotes the development of tumors and other ailments. Okay. Remedies. There are 2 major ways to combat the negative effects of food toxicity. One is Qigong. Diligent Qigong practice not only repels the existing toxins in the body, but also prevents the future invasion of negative, harmful elements. And the other is Qigong Piju, or Biju, the grain-free fasting food therapy, which we just did a couple weeks ago. Everyone should do 3 to 7 days of Qigong Biju, each year, and 1 day mini Biju every 10 days to ensure the purity of the internal organs. For elaboration on Qigong Biju theory and methods, please refer to my book, Qigong Biju, Grain-Free Fasting with Qi, The Way of Qi Cellular Cleansing. All right. So we will stop there for now. The second part is imbalanced work and rest. All right. Motivation to get you all to come to my Qigong class Mondays and Wednesdays. I appreciate you so much checking out this video. And if you'd like to read the whole book, there it is. And this is Grandmaster Fu. This is the man who trained me to be a Qigong teacher. He came to Georgia from China a long time ago. Where can you get this book? I don't know. Where do you get it? I feel like there should be a website. Anyway, I'll find it and link it below. Feel free to nudge me. But it's probably on the Emei Medical Qigong website that I think I have it linked already in all my videos. Have a beautiful night, angels. See you Monday.